afternoon, Mark Bright, Les Ferdinand and Garth Crooks have had a busy last 2 hours or so on the red button, excitedly watching the first afternoon of the Premier League season unfold. Without further ado, we're going to head straight to Molineux. Wolverhampton Wanderers back in the top flight after a 5-year absence, and there's been a goal there, Ivan Gaskell.
Yes, welcome to the Premier League, Wolves. Wolves 0, West Ham 2. We're midway through this second half. Premier League's opening day, of course, a truly open game. Wolves on the receiving end here. Mark Noble's goal midway through the first half, a thing of beauty. Matthew Upson's moments ago, a more straightforward affair from a corner and a header. It is a tough start for Wolves.
OK, Manchester City are hoping to emulate the Blackburn side of 1995 and buy their way to the Premier League title. The two clubs meet today at Ewood Park, and James Mason is there for us.
Yeah, thanks, Gabby. It's Blackburn Rovers 0, Manchester City 1 in what is a genuine end-to-end encounter at the moment. After all the pre-season hype, Man City exploded into action with a £25 million signing. Emmanuel Adebayor racing onto a Sean Wright-Phillips pass to give his new side the perfect start. It's been a bit more even since then. Blackburn have had a couple of chances to level it, but it's Blackburn 0, Man City 1.
Next up, two clubs who haven't found favour with the bookmakers. Stoke defied the odds last season to finish mid-table, while newly promoted Burnley are predicted to struggle this campaign. Damian Johnson can tell us more.
Yeah, Stoke 2, Burnley 0. Ryan Shawcross put the home side ahead with a towering header. Stephen Jordan headed past his own keeper to extend Stoke's first half lead. It's been a tough baptism for Burnley, who've played their part with some neat football. Robbie Blake has tested Thomas Sorensen on a couple of occasions. Power so far winning the day. The strongmen of Stoke lead 2-0.
You might need it. Aston Villa have never won at home to Wigan in the top flight, and Wigan have always lost on the opening day of the Premier League season. One of those unenviable records will end at Villa Park, where Andrew James is watching.
And it looks, Gabby, as if it's going to end in favour of Wigan Athletic, who've been superb today. Take nothing away from them. Villa were booed off at half-time. They've been booed subsequently by their supporters who expected more. But Wigan it was who took a first-half lead, an early goal of the season contender from Hugo Rodallega, giving them the early lead, Wigan. And then in the second half, Jason Kumas beating Brad Friedel at his near post for a second Wigan goal. Villa have had half chances, but they've been second best. It's Villa 0, Wigan 2.
Booing after 45 minutes this season. Let's go to the Reebok Stadium next, where Bolton have a good record against a Sunderland side without an away win in 2009. Is that going to change? Well, Steve Bruce will be hoping so with his £20 million worth of new signings. Richard Askham is at that game for us.
Looking good for Sunderland at the moment, Gabby. Bolton 0, Sunderland 1. For the most part, Sunderland have dominated since Darren Bent scored the opener after 5 minutes. He's had a terrific debut for the visitors, by the way. After the break, it has been more of a contest. Kevin Davis has made his muscular presence felt as the game has gone on. For Bolton, Elmander blasted just wide a moment ago. They've improved, but they still trail by that single goal.
It's been an unsettled summer for Portsmouth, who've been forced to sell some of their big-name players and left in limbo over a proposed takeover. Fulham started their season in Europe a few weeks ago, and watching this one at Fratton Park is Andy May.
Fulham lead 1-0, Gabby, and as you say, not a good time at all. No money, no takeover, and it's looking like a losing start this season. Bobby Zamora fluked his way onto the score sheet. A Dempsey shot hit him on the back early on, confused David James in goal, and then went over the line. On his debut for Portsmouth, Frederick Piquion looks decent, but also a bit lost on his own up front. Portsmouth 0, Fulham 1.
OK, Chelsea kicked off at 12:45 at Stamford Bridge against Hull. Steve Wilson was there for us.
Chelsea title favourites off with a victory under Carlo Ancelotti, but my goodness, they left it late. Didier Drogba with a chip goal from the tightest of angles, 2 minutes into stoppage time at the end of the game. This after Drogba's free kick in the first half had equalised a debut goal for Stephen Hunt for Hull City. You have to feel sorry for Hull, who worked tirelessly almost to the end, but were undone in the end by Drogba. Chelsea 2, Hull City 1.
Well, you've been watching these Premier League games for an hour and a half or so now, Garth. What's drawing your eye and what's catching you the most?
Aston Villa Wigan, 2 reasons. One, Villa are down 2-0 at home, and secondly, the Villa fans are booing. Martin O'Neill has a problem. You can't have, on your home performance of the season, your home fans booing. It spells trouble. And at the moment, Wigan have pretty much outplayed Aston Villa today.
I suppose if you think with the last few seasons we've talked about Aston Villa as breaking into the top 4 potentially. Suddenly, it's Manchester City. You're saying Spurs going to break into the top 4, your prediction.
He's been drinking. He would.
And I guess the fans feel aggrieved. You know, the attention's gone away, it's been deflected. They haven't brought in the huge names that Martin O'Neill was hoping to add to the squad with.
You know, after a great start to last season where they looked like they were going to break in, they've got a young squad, and what they was hoping he would add to it and hopefully break in this season. But You know, they've started off badly. Wigan at home they totally outplayed them. I think if they'd had a real go and they'd been unlucky, then the fans would understand that. But Wigan have totally outplayed them today, you know, in every aspect, every part of the field. And so, you know, that's why the supporters are booing now, because they're feeling the backlash from last season as well.
Good to see an up-and-coming manager in Martinez taking to Premier League life so well.
This is what you want. This is what the other managers will look at and say, well, he's had his opportunity at Premier League level. I watched Swansea. I went to see them at Fulham last year. They were fantastic. The football they played, exactly the same here. Fabian Delph was making his debut in midfield. Stuart Downing's not fit for them. So Villa have had a good go at it last year. They've had another little build in the summer to try and have another go at the 4th place. Completely outplayed. And as Garth said, on the home game of the season, the last thing you want to hear as a player is the fans booing you. 2
of the 3 promoted sides playing today and both down at the moment. Are they looking a little bit out of their depth at Burnley and Wolves?
I think that's a good point. That's exactly what it is. It's out of their depth. I think when you watch Match of the Day tonight, the 2 goals that Wolves concede are classic Premier League goals where they get an opportunity, they take it. Wolves had opportunities and not lived up to it. Couldn't take them. That's the difference. And of course, Burnley completely outclassed by Stoke. Stoke have bullied them, and Burnley have allowed that to happen.
Steve Bruce has spent £20 million adding to his Sunderland squad, and one of the players, you know, Darren Bent well, scored after 5 minutes. You were talking Sunderland up in the first half. Have you been generally impressed with their performance?
I've been very impressed. I mean, the only thing Steve Bruce will be biting his nails about is that they've had so many chances in the first half, and Darren Bent has been on absolute fire. You know, he should have had an hat-trick by now. He played really well. He's played really well. He's looked sharp. He's looked very impressive, and Steve will be pleased with the money that he spent on him.
Absolutely.
But as a team, Sunderland have played excellently as well. They're away to Bolton. Totally dominated the game. The only thing is they're only 1-0 up, and while it scores like that,
in the balance,
you can see Bolton having a period where they might nick one.
In the earlier part of this show, you said that your bottom 3, you had Portsmouth to go down. They're not, at the moment, they're down against Fulham, not looking that impressive. Are you standing by that prediction?
At all. I said it's a big season for Cranky. You know, they need a goal scorer. They've lost Defoe, they've lost Peter Crouch, you know, and just the way that they finished the season as well, they just avoided relegation. But Fulham, as I said before, excellent defence. He's building, Roy Hodgson. You know, they're winning 1-0 at the moment, but five teams are winning away from home in the Premier League so far. That's very unusual.
Important point, just quickly on Fulham. Lucky goal. It was a deflected goal. Yeah. Left poor James floundering. They've been a bit fortunate, but Portsmouth, to be fair to them, I think they've put a good day's shift in for Paul Hart. They've tried, but Fulham have stood up to them.
Must be really unsettling, though, what's going on off the pitch as well.
Absolutely.
OK, Roy Keane won his first home match in charge of Ipswich on the final day of last season. Can he make it 2 out of 2 at the expense of newly promoted Leicester? Robin Bailey's watching this one at Portman Road.
Well, they still haven't got their first win of this season, Gabby. They are 0-0 with Leicester at the moment, and I can see why Leicester ran away with League One last year. They are an impressive, organised outfit. Matty Fryatt's been excellent for them today, although he hasn't scored. Connor Wickham is on, the 16-and-a-half-year-old for Ipswich, but still no breakthrough here, 0-0.
Well, Doncaster and Preston both followed opening day draws with midweek wins in the Carling Cup. They're at Keepmoat, and our man Paul Addison is watching where there's been a goal.
Certainly has, Gabby, and it's gone to the home side. They're back on level terms. Doncaster 1, Preston North End 1. Cross came in, Preston couldn't clear it. It bounced around inside the 6-yard area, finally forced over the line by Adam Lockwood. Rovers 1, North End 1.
Ian Holloway compared going back to former club QPR last weekend to meeting an ex-wife. He's going to be hoping not to rue the missus when his Blackpool side host Cardiff today, and Steve Lee is watching this one.
It's still locked at Blackpool 1, Cardiff 1. The Bluebirds going ahead through Michael Chopra as early as the 11th minute. Ian Evatt grabbing an equaliser for Blackpool just before half-time. And in the second half, they're trying to live up to Ian Holloway's mantra of making them a team to respect. They've looked the more likely side, chances for Crady and Ormerod, but it's still 1-1.
OK, Scunthorpe and Derby haven't met since 1964. Mark Webber is at Glanford Park.
2-2. The Rams not the only ones looking sheepish in this game, Gabby. We could have seen a cricket score at both ends if it wasn't for the butterboots of Derby's and Scunthorpe's front lines. As it was, a simple tap-in summed up the goals, which made it 2-1 at half-time. Only a Chris Commons penalty has made this second half have a bit more style. But like some badly behaved girls I know, Gabby, Derby and Scunthorpe need to go to finishing school. 2-2.
Mixed with nice ladies. OK, Barnsley are hosting Coventry today, who, if things stay as they are at the moment, could go top with the only 100% record. I believe Mark Bishop is there watching for us.
I certainly am, Gabby. Barnsley 0, Coventry City 1. Absolute shambles of a day for Barnsley's fans who've packed into Oakwell away to our right, booing and whistling all along. They've been a really a bad side today. Kozluk sent off for his second yellow card, his second challenge very late on Klingon. Coventry still leading from that pile driver of free kick from Leon Best. Barnsley 0, Coventry City 1.
Nottingham Forest splashed the cash this summer. Was it money well spent? Today's result against one of the promotion favourites, West Brom, might provide a clue for us. Naz Premji's at the City Ground.
Nottingham Forest 0, West Bromwich Albion 1. The visitors lead through Chris Cohen's own goal early in the second period. Forest had a glorious chance to level in this one. Robert Earnshaw, substitute, came on, won himself a penalty, got up and then dragged his effort wide from 12 yards out. It was a poor penalty. Still Nottingham Forest 0, West Bromwich Albion 1.
It's been a game of first at the Liberty Stadium. Paolo Sousa's first game in charge of Swansea at home and Middlesbrough's first test away from home since being relegated. Gareth Williams is there for us.
Thanks, Gabby. Swansea City 0, Middlesbrough 2. Middlesbrough deserving the 2-goal cushion. They opened the scoring thanks to Adam Johnson's shot just after the half-hour mark and increased it in the second half when the ball was played to Marvin Emnes on the edge of the penalty box. The striker decided to unleash a shot at Doris Safis's goal and placed the ball in the top left-hand corner for a great goal. I think they've just increased the lead. In fact, it is now Swansea 0, Middlesbrough 3. We'll have a check of the goal scorer of the third goal. It is indeed Touquet who's come on as a substitute. Swansea City 0, Middlesbrough 3.
Sheffield United were embarrassed by League Two side Port Vale in the Carling Cup this week. Alan Biggs is at Bramall Lane to see if they can bounce back against Watford.
They are doing. Sheffield United 2, Watford 0. A statement of some intent this from Kevin Blackwell's side. The performance mounting in intensity from Jamie Ward's early easy goal, finally underpinned by Ched Evans on his first blade start. A fine angled finish from him. Both goals set up by another new man, Keith Tracy. Watford, they've had their chances, but it's damage limitation for them now. Sheffield United lead 2-0.
Championship's two oldest managers, Bristol City's Gary Johnson and Neil Warnock of Crystal Palace, are locking horns at Ashton Gate. There have been events that are going to certainly cause talking points tomorrow, Tony Colliver.
Indeed, 78 minutes gone. It's Bristol City 0, Crystal Palace 0. A feisty encounter here. Palace, though, should be 1-0 up after Freddie Sears struck home in the first half, but the referee didn't believe it went in. Video replays show otherwise. Since then, the home side certainly have rightly had a good chance with Paul Hartley. His goal was ruled out, though, for offside. That was the right decision. But the score remains Bristol City 0, Crystal Palace 0.
Let's go back to Oakwell. There's been another goal. Mark Bishop.
Barnsley 0, Coventry City 2. A 10-man move, Gabby, across the pitch. Coventry on fire, out to the right. Osborne whipping in a terrific cross. And there was Clinton Morrison to blast home from 3 yards. That's 3 goals now in his last 2 matches. It's au revoir, Barnsley, I'm afraid. They trail 2-0.
If goals are what you want, then you've got value for money at Glanford Park, Mark Webber.
Absolutely, Gabby. The industrial side from Industrial Lincolnshire showing some industry. Martin Wolfer graduating from finishing school. On the right, eat the ball, left post, 3-2 Scunthorpe.
Peterborough have earned back-to-back promotions. Today they've got Sheffield Wednesday in their first home game in the Championship. How are they coping, Andy Barwell?
Well, it's 1-1 here, a game of 2 heady goals in the sunshine at London Road. James O'Connor giving Wednesday the lead midway through the first half. Peterborough deserved the equaliser. Tom Williams with the cross. Great finish from Craig McHale-Smith. It's Peterborough 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1.
Well, Plymouth are at home for the first time this season after successive away games. QPR, the visitors, have already won in Devon this week. They beat Exeter in the Carling Cup, and Hamish Marshall's watching this for us.
And they're on course for 3 points here to add to that Carling Cup win. They've held the lead since late in the first half when Haida Helgeson headed home. They were the better team in that first 45, creating 3 other good chances. Plymouth have improved since the break with substitute Cillian Sheridan prominent. He's had a shot that's gone just wide, but time running out for the home side.
Well, Carlos Tevez eventually came on for Rubinho. How's he looked, James Mason, at Ewood Park?
Yeah, he's looked very lively. He's had a couple of chances on the right wing, a couple of crosses. He's looked pretty good. No heel injury in sight. A tense final 5 minutes for both managers, but Man City still leading through Adebayor's early goal. Blackburn have played well there and could argue they could be level, but it's Blackburn 0, Man City 1.
Ivan Gaskell is at Molineux. Wolves have been away from the Premier League for 5 years, but it's not going their way today, is it?
Yes, it's got a bit quicker since they were last here. A bit rusty, a couple of mistakes, and West Ham punished them midway through the first and second halves. Noble's excellent first half goal, and then the second from Upson has just about finished Wolves off, and 1 or 2 are already trailing out here. It's 2-0.
And the other promoted team are playing at the Britannia Stadium today. Damien Johnson's watching Burnley's visit to Stoke.
5 minutes remaining here. Stoke just seeing out time. They lead 2-0. Dave Kitson could have extended their lead on as a second-half substitute. His left foot shot drilled against the crossbar and away to safety. Burnley not producing a great deal in this second half. Stoke cruising to victory 2-0.
Well, one of the big talking points, certainly here at the moment in this studio, the boos at Villa Park and the expectation from the Aston Villa fans, but also Martinez's take on life as a Premier League manager, which seems to be going very well, Andrew James.
It does, Gabby. Still Villa 0, Wigan 2. The goals from Rodallega and Kumas, 1 in each half. But yes, picking up on that Martinez theme, it's not just his tactics on the pitch, you know, it's his buying acumen off the pitch. He's brought in Jordi Gomez from Swansea for 1.5 million, allowed Lee Catamol, or was told to let Lee Catamol go for 6 million. And really, Gomez's contribution has been outstanding today for Wigan. It's Villa 0, Wigan 2.
Let's go to the Reebok Stadium. Sunderland were ahead, Richard Askham.
They still are, Gabby. Bolton 0, Sunderland 1. Sunderland comfortable with new signings Lee Catamol and Lorik Sana, both terrier-like in the tackle, dominating midfield and possession. Bolton, who are relying on the long ball, though, are still huffing and puffing without much end product.
And at Fratton Park, Fulham were 1-0 up, Andy May, and Portsmouth getting back into it.
Yeah, in the last few minutes, Kabul has headed over from a corner twice for Paul Hart's side. Kanu is on for Diop as well, so they've got 2 up front. He's yet to make an impact, though, so far. Brighty was talking there about Nico Cranchar. He's had a few shots this afternoon, but they've all been these sort of desperate efforts from way out that have gone way wide. Fulham don't really look like scoring a second, but the 3 points should be theirs.
Well, it's been quite a week for Norwich, hasn't it? A 7-1 defeat on the opening day of the season, a 4-goal win during the week, sacking Brian Gunn yesterday. They're at Exeter today. Any more drama, Steve May?
Well, no, despite all the pressure that's been going on around them, the Norwich players have put in a strong professional performance here. Their persistence has paid off when defender Jens Berthelascu headed them ahead, but the Exeter substitute Richard Logan levelled with his very first touch of the game. It's 1-1.
Let's go to the Galfarm Stadium now. Huddersfield are playing Southampton.
Huddersfield 3, Southampton 1. Anthony Kay has just put this game safe for the home side with a looping header. They've got a corner on the right-hand side as they look to try and add a fourth. But it's all about Jordan Rhodes. He could well be the striker who puts Huddersfield on the road to promotion. His opener was fortunate. Kelvin Davis superbly saved his firm penalty, but the ball bounced back for an easy tap-in. No doubt about the spot kick after Chris Perry rugby tackled Lee Novak. Ricky Lambert equalised for Saints with a bullet header that hit the bar and just about crossed the line, but Rhodes glanced in his 5th goal this season with a deft header from Pilkington's cross. I don't think Ipswich should have let the talented 19-year-old go. Their loss, Huddersfield's gain. Huddersfield 3, Southampton 1.
Thank you very much, Ben Jacobs. Let's go to Victoria Park now. Hartlepool are entertaining Charlton, or are they, Steve Sutton?
Well, Charlton are entertaining their own fans, Gabby, because they still lead by those 2 first-half goals, ahead of a lob from Dion Burton, a header from Bailey. Hartlepool with it all to do. Charlton lead by 2 goals to 0.
Tony Lockwood is at Adams Park. Leeds and Wycombe playing each other for the first time.
For now, Leeds were distinctly average, but Luciano Becchio has dispatched the ball into the bottom corner from a long way out. A cracking goal. Stuart Green hit the post for Wycombe, but it's Leeds who lead by a single goal.
The Sven effect goes on. Let's go to Moss Rose. Dave Woods.
Or is it the McParland effect? I think the manager would say it was still his association at the moment. 4-0 is Notts County's lead here. Craig Westcar has just put the icing on the cake in the 89th minute. Thoroughly deserved by Notts County. Their goalkeeper, Russell Holt, has not had a shot to save all afternoon. It's going to be 9 goals in the opening 2 league games this season, and they've yet to concede one. It's Macclesfield 0, Notts County 4.
I'm sure it is the McParland effect, but the headline writers will enjoy that for Sven, won't they?
Yeah, Dave Woods is absolutely right. I mean, Ian McParland has done a great job did a great job last season, is indeed doing a great job this season. 2 great results. What is it, 9 goals in 2 games? Sven's got Kasper Schmeichel in there. It's a good signing. They're only going one place, and that's into the next division.
There are 3 games with just a goal in it in the Premier League. Can you see any of them ending up either a draw or even 2 late goals?
You know, Blackburn are having a go. They're having a go. Man City can't seem to... They can't compose themselves and keep the ball. Blackburn are at them all the time. And, you know, I wouldn't be... Oh, Stephen Ireland's through. He's through. He's taking too long. Oh, he scored!
Goal. All over.
Let's almost predicting a comeback there for Blackburn Rovers. That was your man, Mark Bright, but I believe it hasn't happened. Let's go to Ewood Park.
Yeah, confirmation. Manchester City have got their second goal. Stephen Ireland runs towards the Manchester City fans. A few of them jump on. You can understand that, although we don't condone it. They're celebrating their new team of Galacticos, they'll want to call them. Their big summer signings have won this game 2-0. But Stephen Ireland and a few of the other players, Dunn, Given, the other players that haven't been mentioned in the summer, they have been superb today. Combine that with the 5 new big signings, 4 of them on show today, have been fantastic. It's going to end Blackburn 0, Manchester City 2.
And will that be pleasing because for Mark Hughes? Because it's a blending of the old and the new as well, isn't it?
It's a relief. They haven't played that well. I don't think they've played that well. You know, when you look at the start, you're thinking, well, they've got Sean Wright-Phillips, Rubinho, you know, Adebayor starts the game great with a goal.
He's shaking his head furiously here.
I don't think they've played well. No. But you know what, though? Garth last year, they were poor away from home.
Yes, they were.
They've dug in today. I think last year they would have lost this game. They look like they're going to win this.
Well, make your mind up.
No. Oh, I said Blackburn look likely to get back in. They've had a go, Blackburn.
They haven't played well. I don't think City have played well.
They haven't played well.
In the second half, it looked like it was Blackburn that was going to score the goal rather than Man City score another one. So,
they set off for not playing well and winning 2-0 away from home all
correct.
season, though, wouldn't they?
You will do. So, and all I'm reiterating is what he said. They haven't played well, but they'll take the result.
Quick analysis. Mark Hughes,
quick from you.
Mark Hughes starts the game with whatever momentum is generated from the close season. He's got good players in. They start well. They score a goal. They go in 1-0 up. They come out and they've got a decision to make. They bring off Rubinho because he's not playing great away from him again. Brings on Tevez. Barry does a great job in midfield. I see maturity coming in from Richards. Dunn solid. I see a team being created here. You wouldn't have got this result this time like a year ago. No. Mark Hughes is making good progress, and for me, City have played very well.
OK. Let's go to Ibrox full-time. Brian McLaughlin.
It's finished Rangers 4, Falkirk 1, Lee McCulloch, Stephen Naismith and Kenny Miller with a double the scorers for champions Rangers. Carol Finnegan replying for Falkirk. Rangers, though far from impressive, the visitors for long spells had a home defence under pressure, but the final score at Ibrox, Rangers 4, Falkirk 1.
And promoter St Johnstone have finished their first match in the SPL as well. Ian Teller's at McDermott Park.
It finished 2-2, and on the evidence of this match, St Johnstone will not be fighting to stave off relegation. With better finishing from Kenny Duker, they'd have won, but that said, Motherwell's second half display merited a point. Saints twice led through Murray Davidson and Graham Gatlin. Motherwell came storming back with goals from Hutchinson and a peach from Ross Forbes. St Johnstone 2, Motherwell 2.
Let's go to Bloomfield Road. Steve Lee's been watching Blackpool-Cardiff, where the whistle has blown.
Yes, Blackpool 1, Cardiff 1. Another point for Ian Holloway and his new side. Both these teams might have won it at the end. Jason Ewell's point-blank effort saved by the keeper. Mark Hudson fired over. The goals from Ian Evatt for Blackpool and Michael Chopra for Cardiff, 1-1.
And in League One at Adams Park, Tony Lockwood's been watching Leeds, the visitors at Wycombe.
And Leeds' unbeaten record remains intact. An outstanding contribution from Luciano Becchio. Leeds Argentine number 10 wins it 20 yards out, left foot, bottom corner. Wycombe 0, Leeds 1.
The scream in the studio wasn't a goal. It was almost the misfortune of Mark Hughes falling onto the pitch, which I'm sure you'll see later on Match of the Day, or Match of the Day 2 tomorrow. Let's go to Keepmoat Stadium. Paul Addison, has the final whistle blown?
Certainly has, Gabby, and it's honours even. Doncaster 1, Preston North End 1. Chris Brown gave the visitors a first-half lead, and it took Rovers until 11 minutes from time to score the equaliser, and that was Adam Lockwood. Fair result in the end, I think. Rovers 1, North End 1.
James Mason's at Ewood Park. Did you get a good view of that fall on the pitch? I didn't. A talking point, no doubt. Ashton Gate, let's go there next. Tony Colliver, the final whistle. Is it a goal between Bristol City and Crystal Palace?
Yeah, we're still playing here, but there's been a goal. Bristol City 1, Crystal Palace, and it was a poor clearance by the Crystal Palace defence. Saw the ball finding Nicky Maynard, who slots it home crisply for his second goal in the week. Bristol City 1, Crystal Palace 0.
And that is going to make that incident just all the more exacerbated and fuel the fans and fuel Neil Warnock.
Neil Warnock especially, you know, a goal that's never been given. Everyone, what's happened is there's been a shot, it's gone into the back of the net, it's come out quickly, the officials assuming it's hit the boarding behind the goal. I think the Bristol players turn around and walk off.
This happened in the first half, and at half-time they were able to see with video evidence.
With the video evidence that the ball went into the back of the net. Now they've ended up losing the game 1-0. Mike Palace as well.
OK, some goal news at Home Park. Hamish Marshall.
It looks like Plymouth have got themselves a point deep in stoppage time. Jamie Mackey's claiming it, although a Rangers defender may have got the final touch. It came just after Rangers had twice cleared off their own line. The final whistle goes now as I speak. Heide Helgeson's goal has been cancelled out near the end. It's Plymouth 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1.
And the final whistle has blown on Burnley's first match in the Premier League at the Britannia Stadium. Damien Johnson.
Stoke 2, Burnley 0. This was a tough baptism for the Premier League new boys. Defender Ryan Shawcross headed the home side in front. A striker's finish. Stephen Jordan headed past his own keeper to make it 2-0 from a trademark Delap long throw. Burnley played some decent stuff without carrying a sustained goal threat. In the second half, Stoke's Kitson hit the bar. Fye was lucky not to get a second yellow card after some rash tackling. It's welcome to the Premier League for Burnley, who face Manchester United, Everton, Chelsea and Liverpool next.
What a run of matches for the new boys. Let's go to Fratton Park. Andy May, is it just Zamora's back, the difference?
Yep, the wait is over. Zamora's done it after 5 years without a win on the opening day of the season. Fulham have beaten Portsmouth. He was on the score sheet, Zamora, after Dempsey did all the work. His shot hit his teammate on the back, changed direction, and then just rolled over the line. Paul Hart's men disappointing at home. New signing Pickwion with their only shot on target all game. Sub David Nugent fired wide and over late on. The end of August and the transfer window is coming soon. Pompey could do with a new loaded owner ASAP. Portsmouth 0, Fulham 1.
They're a bit thin on the ground, those, though, aren't they? And another away win. It's at the Reebok Stadium. Richard Askham.
Yes, Gabby, Bolton 0, Sunderland 1. Sometimes all you need is a bit of love. And in Sunderland and his new manager, Steve Bruce, the arm round the shoulder appears to have worked wonders for Darren Bent. The England man scored the first, an excellent header, and ran riot in the opening period. Bolton, who struggled to get Kevin Davies in the game, did make a fight of it as the game wore on. But Sunderland and the new look Bent certainly deserved their victory. And their noisy travelling support will go home more than happy with this opening day's display.
Let's go to Molineux, where I'm sure there'll be more noisy travelling. Swin Bailey's been watching Leicester play Ipswich.
And it's finished. Ipswich 0, Leicester 0. Roy Keane still without a win this season. 1 point out of 6 for them. And Ipswich were not inspired in the end by an emotional tribute to Sir Bobby Robson pre-match. Promoted Leicester City, though, are a fine team. They've kept the momentum going. Fright and Howard will get goals this season, although both went close today. They came for a win, no doubt about that. Roy Keane still doesn't know his best team, I don't think.
Well, of the 3 o'clock kickoffs, there was only one home win. This wasn't one of them, but perhaps the only match where there are boos going on right now, Andrew James.
Yes, Aston Villa 0, Wigan Athletic 2, Gabby. Questions will rightly be asked of Villa after this display. But we should take nothing away from Wigan and their new manager, Roberto Martinez. Evenly balanced for half an hour, Wigan took the lead with a goal of the month contender from Hugo Rodallega. A second-half goal from Jason Kumas beating Friedel at his near post completed the scoring, but Wigan had chances to win by more. There were boos from the Villa fans at half-time as well as at the end just a few seconds ago. Wigan, on the other hand, may well go from strength to strength under manager Martinez. It's finished Villa 0, Wigan 2.
Of course, I meant 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League. Let's go out of the Premier League, though, now, because the only team with a 100% record in the Championship would appear to be Coventry. Mark Bishop's at Oakwell.
Barnsley 0, Coventry City 2. A 100% start to the season for Chris Coleman's High Flyers, Gabby. Very convincing display at Oakwell. Barnsley reduced to 10 men in the second half when Kozluk was sent off for his second bookable offence. A Leon Best rocket of a free kick, and then Clinton Morrison's third goal in 2 matches did the damage for a very sorry Barnsley side. McIndo, Morrison, Gunnarsson and Osborne could all have got on the score sheet. It's Barnsley 0, Coventry City 2.
Another away team doing well at the Liberty Stadium. Gareth Williams.
Swansea City 0, Middlesbrough 3. Swansea fans left after Middlesbrough's Tunchai grabbed a late third goal to give the visitors a very comfortable win. They went ahead just after the half an hour when Adam Johnson's effort proved too good for the Swansea defence. They doubled the lead in the second half courtesy of an 18-yard thunderbolt from Marvin Emnes before Tunchai's late header wrapped up the win. It's finished Swansea City 0, Middlesbrough 3.
You suspect that disallowed goal in the first half is going to be a huge talking point, but Tony Colliver at Ashton Gate, are the fans reacting, the Crystal Palace fans?
The Crystal Palace fans are actually applauding their side. I think they have sympathy with them, but it's 1-0 the full-time score, and Bristol City won through Nicky Maynard. But the controversy happened in the 35th minute of the first half. Palace's Freddie Sears hit a drive from about 6 yards out. It appeared to go into the back of the net, the bottom of the back of the net, rebounded straight back out. The Palace players, the fans, Neil Warnock, were adamant it had gone in the back of the net. The Bristol City players players thought they'd gone 1-0 down as well, but after some confrontation and lots of debate, a goal kick was awarded, and I feel Neil Warner certainly will be having some choice words now at the end of the game. He was furious on the touchline, and I'm not sure what expletives were said, but it didn't look very kind indeed. But there was some video evidence at half-time, and that did prove, apparently, that the ball had gone in, and that was that. But late on, against the run of play, really, Palace did well. It was a good shot by Nicky Maynard to give the home side the lead. Full-time, Bristol City 1, Crystal Palace 0.
OK, quick reminder for you that every Saturday between 2:30 and 6 o'clock on the Red Button, Final Score will bring you the latest news from the day's football matches. But now it's time for the classified results, read as ever by Tim Gudgin.
And as ever, first, the Barclays Premier League. Aston Villa 0, Wigan Athletic 2. Blackburn Rovers 0, Manchester City 2. Bolton Wanderers 0, Sunderland 1. Chelsea 2, Hull City 1. Everton and Arsenal have an evening kick-off. Portsmouth 0, Fulham 1. Stoke City 2, Burnley 0. Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, West Ham United 2. In the Coca-Cola Championship, Barnsley 0, Coventry City 2. Blackpool 1, Cardiff City 1. Bristol City 1, Crystal Palace 0. Doncaster Rovers 1, Preston North End 1. Ipswich Town 0, Leicester City 0. Newcastle United and Reading kick off this evening. Nottingham Forest 0, West Bromwich Albion 1. Peterborough United 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Plymouth Argyle 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Scunthorpe United 3, Derby County 2. Sheffield United 2, Watford 0. Swansea City 0, Middlesbrough 3. In Coca-Cola League 1, Brentford 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. Colchester United 2, Yeovil Town 1. Exeter City 1, Norwich City 1. Hartlepool United 0, Charlton Athletic 2. Huddersfield Town 3, Southampton 1. Leyton Orient 1, Oldham Athletic 2. Millwall 0, Carlisle United 0. Stockport County 0, Bristol Rovers 2. Swindon Town 0, Milton Keynes Dons 0, that's the latest score. Tranmere Rovers 4, Gillingham 2. Walsall 2, Southend United 2. Wycombe Wanderers 0, Leeds United 1. In League 2, Accrington Stanley 1, Lincoln City 0. AFC Bournemouth 1, Rotherham United 0. Barnet 2, Shrewsbury Town 2. Bradford City 0, Port Vale 0. Burton Albion 5, Morecambe 2. Chesterfield 1, Northampton Town 0. Dagenham and Redbridge 5, Torquay United 3. Darlington 0, Bury 1. Grimsby Town 0, Crewe Alexandra 4. Hereford United 1, Cheltenham Town 1. Macclesfield Town 0, Notts County 4. Rochdale 1, Aldershot Town 0. In the Blue Square Premier, Barrow 0, Stevenage Borough 0. Chester City 2, Cambridge United 4. Crawley Town 1, Wrexham 0. Eastbourne Borough 1, Rushden and Diamonds 1. Ebbsfleet United 0, Kidderminster Harriers 0. Hayes and Yeading United 1, Altrincham 2. Histon 3, Oxford United 4. Kettering Town 1, AFC Wimbledon 2. Luton Town 2, Gateshead 1. Salisbury City 0, Mansfield Town 1. Tamworth 2, Grays Athletic 1. York City 2, Forest Green Rovers 0. In the Clydesdale Bank Scottish Premier League, Aberdeen 1, Celtic 3. Hibernian 2, St Mirren 1. Kilmarnock 3, Hamilton Academical 0. Rangers 4, Falkirk 1. St Johnstone 2, Motherwell 2. In the the Ernbrew Scottish Division 1, Airdrie United 1, Queen of the South 1. Greenock Morton 0, Dunfermline Athletic 2. Inverness Caledonian Thistle 0, Ayr United 0. Partick Thistle 0, Ross County 0. Wraith Rovers 2, Dundee 2. Scottish Div 2, Alloa Athletic 1, Peterhead 0. Arbroath 3, Dumbarton 1. Brechin City 3, Cowdenbeath 1. Clyde 0, Stirling Albion 1, latest score. Stenhousemuir 1, East Fife 1. And Scottish Div 3, Albion Rovers 2, Berwick Rangers 1, it's the latest score. Annan Athletic 0, East Stirlingshire 1. Elgin City 0, Queen's Park 1. Forfar Athletic 1, Stranraer 0. And Livingston 2, Montrose 0. In the Welsh Premier, Carsws 0, Aberystwyth Town 4. CPD Porthmadog 1, Newtown 1. Elements Cefn Druids 0, Port Talbot Town 1. Haverfordwest County 1, Welshpool Town 0. And Rhyl and Carmarthen Town have an evening kick-off. In the Carling Premiership, Cliftonville 0, Coleraine 1. Dungannon Swifts 2, Ballymena United 1. Linfield 0, Crusaders 1. Lisbon Distillery 2, Glenavon 3. Newry City 3, Institute 1. Portadown 1, Glentoran 2.
And there are a few late kickoffs to tell you about in League One. Swindon Town 0, Milton Keynes Dons 0. They're still playing. In the Iron Brew Scottish Division 2, Clyde 0, Stirling Albion 1. And it's a result in Division 3, Albion Rovers 2, Berwick Rangers 1. Well, it's early days, but let's have a little look at the tables anyway, starting, of course, with the Premier League. And Manchester City, Stoke, West Ham and Wigan fans will be happy tonight. Their teams top the Premier League table. Chelsea also among the early pace-setters, despite leaving it late before securing 3 points against Hull in the lunchtime kickoff. Fulham and Sunderland also enjoyed opening day wins, and last season's top two, Manchester United and Liverpool, both pay tomorrow. Well, there's claret and blue in the who of the bottom of the table. Aston Villa and Burnley making up two of the bottom four. There are also Blackburn Rovers there, beaten by Manchester City, and newly promoted Wolves, who lost at home to West Ham. Let's have a look at the top of the Championship. Coventry top the table, the only side to take all 6 points from the first two games of the season. Today's victory over Barnsley and last week against Ipswich mean Chris Coleman's side have got a 2-point lead. 6 teams are in hot pursuit, including Bristol City, who's scored a late winner, of course, and Gareth Southgate's relegated Middlesbrough side third, while promotion favourites West Brom got their first win against the big spending in Nottingham Forest. And the bottom of the table, Swansea's poor form continues. They're still tied to the bottom after 2 straight defeats and remain the only side without any points at all. 8 other sides have just 1 point from the 2 matches, including Watford, Nottingham Forest and Ipswich. Let's have a little look at the top of League One. Colchester's cracking start to the season continues. They put 7 past Norwich last weekend. Another win today means they sit top of the table. Charlton, of course, relegated from the Championship last season, and Leeds are the only other teams with a 100% record. At the bottom, Southampton have a 10-point deficit to make up, and they're making heavy weather of it. Defeat today following on from their draw in their opening game. Wycombe also struggling after losing their second consecutive game. So to the top of League Two. Notts County continue to feel the benefits of Sven-Göran Eriksson's presence behind the scenes with another win today against Macclesfield. They've scored more goals there and no goals conceded. A win for Bournemouth and an 8th goal thriller for Dagenham mean 3 sides have maximum points at the top. Burton's impressive first league win against Morecambe means they move into the top 10. Grimsby's heavy defeat to Crewe means they occupy bottom spot, with Darlington also still searching for their first league points. Bradford's draw means they get their first point, while Macclesfield's heavy defeat to Notts County mean they remain in the bottom 4. Let's have a look at the Blue Square Premier League table. Luton top, aiming to bounce straight back into the Football League, sit there after beating Gateshead today. Also on 7 points, Altrincham and Oxford United. Salisbury gave up their 100% record with defeat at home to Mansfield. Chester City have a mountain to climb at the bottom, and their cause wasn't helped today. They lost at home to Cambridge United. Let's have a little look at the Scottish Premier League. A familiar name at the top. Rangers' impressive win over Falkirk gives them top spot on goal difference. Kilmarnock second after a good win over Hamilton. Celtic's win over Aberdeen at Pittodrie also puts them level with Hibernian, who won at St Mirren. And newly promoted St Johnstone got off to a decent start with a home draw against Motherwell. OK, here are the headlines for you from today's Premier League matches. Didier Drogba's last-minute winner and second goal of the game gives Chelsea the points and Hull the blues as Carlo Ancelotti's side come from behind to win at Stamford Bridge. The the boos ring out for Villa. They lost at home to Wigan. Goals from Wigan's Hugo Rodallega and Jason Kumas give Martin O'Neill an early season headache. Darren Bent marks his Sunderland debut in style with his 99th league goal, a perfect start for new Black Cats manager Steve Bruce. And the Britannia Stadium was a fortress for Stoke last season. The Potters collected 3 points there again today, denying Burnley a fairy tale start to life in the Premier League. Confusion off the pitch for Portsmouth and problems on it as Bobby Zamora's goal gets Fulham's league campaign up and running at Fratton Park. Of course, you can see all the goals from the Premier League today, tonight on BBC One at 10 o'clock on Match of the Day. And the Football League show is on after that, 11:20 on BBC One. And then tomorrow you can see the remaining 4 teams to play in the Premier League on Match of the Day 2, BBC 2 at 10 o'clock. Well, Wigan's manager, Roberto Martinez, had a fantastic start to life as a Premier League manager. Of course, this afternoon he was his team Wigan playing at Villa Park, and he's talking to us now.
So you know that it's not always like that, but is there a better way to begin a Premier League managerial career?
Well, obviously, football is about results, and that gives you satisfaction. But it's more than that. I think we've been working very, very hard. It hasn't been easy in any change in any football club when you got so many changes. You're looking at the players that they had important roles last season and they all left. And probably the things that they please me more is that sort of responsibility, maturity of the players, of wanting to fill them roles and be brave to come away from home and get on the ball and play and create chances against a very, very good side that they started the pre-season really well, as we all saw in a very prestigious tournament. So overall, a great feeling, but it's just a step forward. As a football club, we need to carry on being together and working towards getting better and growing.
Considering the changes and the way that you wish to play and the things you want to introduce, was it almost a pleasant surprise how quickly it seemed to click today?
No, it's not a surprise. I think in football you don't get anything by accident. I think the players, they've been working extremely hard, and sometimes they felt it that way. And I think it was great for them just to see that you can get the rewards if you work hard on a daily basis. And we can see a great healthy environment there. And it was a few players that I'm sure they were disappointed that they haven't been involved, and they've been as important to get that win as the ones that were on the pitch, because they created a very healthy environment in the training ground, and it's a good step forward today.
Well, the Swansea team that he left, of course, now rock bottom of the Championship. Middlesbrough won there today at the Liberty Stadium. I mean, we can see the effect he's had on Wigan already. It seems like he's going to be an impressive manager.
He's playing it down a little bit, Gabby. You know, he's just beat a team who are challenging for the top 4 and beating them convincingly as well. They play good football. His trademark is pass and move, pass and move. I think Les was just saying there, he's two players from Swansea with him. One which I question a little bit, Jason Scotland, who's 31, 32-year-old striker who hasn't cut it at top level. But Gomez, the midfield player, who's replaced Catamol, can do everything. He's a lovely player, very elegant, can tackle, can create, and I thought they played really well today.
In the style of the kind of manager that we've seen in the Premier League, like a Sam Allardyce, maybe even a Steve Bruce, who can bring the best out of the players around him. He's used to not having a huge budget at Swansea. It's going to suit him, isn't it, that style?
Yeah, it will do. And, you know, what's really impressive about him, Gabby, is the fact he's lost Valencia, he's lost Catamol, two key players. You know, he's coming into a new club and players don't know about him, but he seems to have settled the side down very quickly. They're playing good, attractive football and at a high tempo. They played at a high tempo and never allowed Villa to get in the game at all. And, you know, they're just responding from what he's working with them on the training field.
And what was... Gareth Barry was missing. I was going to say, what was missing from Villa for you?
I just felt that Villa didn't compete in the same way as Wigan prepared to compete. Wigan were prepared to do the not very pleasant things well, close down, stick the foot in, win the battle. And I think when Villa, to a certain extent, were happy to play and do the nice things, and they do it very, very well to keep the ball and to pass it, but never got behind Wigan and hurt them. Wigan did precisely that. They got behind them, they hurt them, they competed, they put the foot in, and they got their rewards. And I have to say, Martinez is a very, very impressive manager as far as I'm concerned.
Just at the lineup, Garth. When I looked at the lineup, I looked at Young on the left, Milner, Agbonlahor and Heskey. You're thinking, that's a threat. Yeah. Young Delph's just come in, and Petrov. It's still balanced. This is a good team, but Wigan made them look very ordinary.
And I was worried for Wigan because, you know, Zaki's gone and, you know, strikers and that. Yeah. But that Rodallega should have had a hat-trick, you know. Played well, scored a great goal and should have had a couple more, got himself into a good position. So he looks like he'll hold the fort pretty well for him.
But when you watch Match of the Day tonight, you'll watch the Villa game and you'll note how badly Villa missed Barry, and you watch Manchester City and you watch the impact he has on that side and you realise what a good player he is.
OK, anything else from that match in particular that struck you, the Manchester City performance at Ewood Park?
Resilience. Resilience. Last year they were very poor away from home, Manchester City. Great record at home. And what you're looking at is that everybody expects them to be there, Gabby. This is a game they have to go away. It's a team you're looking at, just survived. They have to go and win. I think last year they probably would have folded in this game, but they showed a lot of resilience. Key move as well was bringing Rubinho off, putting on Tevez. More workmanlike. They've got players who can run with the ball with Bellamy and Sean Wright-Phillips. Adebayor scores a good goal. And I just think it was an impressive away win for Mark Hughes. A little bit of a sigh of relief, because if he doesn't win the first 2 or 3 games, I think he's gone. That was my feelings. I'm pleased for him, because you want other teams competing as well. And an impressive away. They rode their luck at times, because Blackburn came back into it, and Stephen Allen sealed the gale at the end of the game.
OK, let's. I'll leave you for the moment, chaps, because we're going to go to Molineux, where John Motson and Martin Keown have been watching the match, form match of the day. Guys, what did you make of the performance, first of all, of the home side, the new boys, 5 years away from the Premier League, Wolves, and you felt perhaps before the match, John, that they were better equipped. What let them down today?
Well, I also said before the match that they would be without 3 strikers, didn't I? Michael Kitely, Kevin Doyle and Chris Iwelumo. And my goodness me, that showed up, I thought, because I don't know what you think, Martin. I thought Wolves had plenty of the ball, but no cutting edge in the penalty area.
Well, very much so. And it's a rude awakening for them today. Of course, you know, first game of the season, all of a sudden, you know, the wheels come off for them. It's how they react now from this situation. A little bit lightweight in the final third. But there's lots of hard work and lots of graft, but really not enough quality.
Were you impressed with West Ham?
I think West Ham, they go from strength to strength. Carlton Cole, a willing runner. Noble's goal is worth watching this evening. And, you know, they're a decent outfit now, West Ham, and this was no easy game for Wolves today.
John, can I just ask you, you've had your chance now to cast your eye over the other results from the Premier League today. What's stuck out for you?
Well, I think the big surprise was Wigan winning at Aston Villa. We just heard Roberto Martinez there. That's going to go down as a great result for them. Obviously, there'll be a heck of a lot of interest in Manchester City and their performance. And I don't think we'll get the full picture, Gabby, until we see the 2 games tomorrow, because obviously Chelsea have squeezed a win, but we're all waiting to see what Manchester United and Liverpool do. So it's quite a weekend, actually, isn't it?
It is. I think Man City winning today, we're all watching with great interest, aren't we, to see if they get out the blocks, and that's a great win for them today.
OK, thank you very much for the moments, chaps. Of course, his old team Arsenal in action a little bit later on today as well. Steve Bruce had a winning start for Sunderland. He spent £20 million this summer. What did he make of his team's performance at the Reebok?
Steve, you'll be disappointed that your team didn't make it easier for themselves.
Yeah, first half, I think I can't remember coming away from home and having so many chances. And that was if I could be at fault anything at all, was that we didn't make it game safe. You get the second one, it becomes easier. We couldn't get it. We had chance after chance. And in the end, our goalkeeper in the last minute has had to produce a fantastic save. I think that would have been unjust, mind you. So overall, though, I'm very, very pleased.
Yeah. Darren Bent, £10 million, got a goal for you within 5 minutes.
All that hard work.
Should he have had more?
Possibly, but... you know, he's had a couple of chances and he will take them. You know, he's proven goal scorer. He's young, he's at the right age, and today's produced a great header for us. Great start for him. And all them weeks and negotiations and hard work has paid off when you see him score a goal like that. But I thought, overall, the team were very good.
In the first half, you learned that your team can make chances. In the second half, you learned that they can battle.
Well, you always need to. I think Gary must have got into them, and that you wouldn't have liked what you see in the first half. And then we have to show the other side. We needed the second goal, we didn't get it, and they'll always get a belief the longer it goes. But overall, then we needed to show the other side of us, and you can see in Katasana and Catamol why I've brought them into the club. They're very competitive, and they relish that challenge in the end.
A lot made, of course, in the summer about the Newcastle fan going and taking charge of the Black Cat, Steve Bruce, and he appears to have bought well, doesn't he?
Everywhere he's gone, he's done ever so well. I don't think he's ever had the sack. I know he did really well at Palace and he left. I was at a dinner with him just towards the end of last season, and he told me that Shakhtar Donetsk offered him about £8 million a year to go and manage them. And his wife said, where's that? So, you know, he's ended up going to Sunderland and he's doing a good job. I think his team's always played really nice football. Yeah. And it's a key signing, getting Darren Bent. He talked about Catamol there, but, you know, what you lack when you get promotion is a player who can get you 15 or 20 goals. It's always a struggle, you know. Darren Bent, Kenwyne Jones, it's a really good partnership.
You turned down that Shakhtar Donetsk job, didn't you? Darren Bent, you know a lot about him.
Yeah.
You know, obviously he's pleased with his signing, and he could play his way into that England squad at the end of the season.
He could do, Gabby. If he continues performing like he did today, he got a goal, and you know, he had 3 or 4 other good chances where he could have scored. I thought he played very well. Run off the line, I think Kenwyne Jones was the main focus up front, and he likes playing off the bigger man where he can go in behind. He likes playing on the shoulders of defenders. Got in well. I think where it changed for Sunderland in the second half was Steve Malbronk went off. He was the one that was creating all the chances for Sunderland in the first half, and he was key to their movement.
That was an injury, you think, as well, obviously.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. And you know, Darren fed off of him, and good understanding with Kenwyne Jones. And I think if he continues performing like that, he'll score a lot of goals this season.
It wasn't all about Darren Bent, though, was it? You
No.
were pleased with the whole Sunderland ethos performance.
Very impressed with the way he linked up with Kenwyne Jones. Les mentioned Malbrank. But I think if you look at the Sunderland game tonight on Match of the Day, I think the first thing you'll notice is that Bruce has built on the foundations that Keane and Brazier have built on. And that wasn't because Sunderland finished in a very difficult manner last year.
Great.
It's a different Sunderland now. They looked confident, composed, professional in every single area.
Richardson was good as well, wasn't he?
Richardson, I thought, was quite outstanding throughout the game, from start to finish. And I think 1 or 2 people have thought that he comes in flashes, in and out of the game. I thought today, throughout the game, I thought he was very, very strong. So very, very good professional Steve Bruce performance.
OK, well, Manchester City beat Blackburn Rovers 2-0, and they were got on their way by Emmanuel Adebayor, scoring after just 3 minutes there. He's talking to us now.
How happy are you after that debut?
I'm very happy. I'm very delighted. We know it's going to be an important game. We owe to ourselves in the dressing room that we have to start quite well. I think that's what we have done quite well. In the second or third minute, we have chance to be leading already. So yeah, we make it easier for ourselves. We're very pleased, and now for the most important thing is keep on going.
Lovely strike for the goal.
Yeah, you know, I'm a striker, so for me the most important thing is keep focused on my job, and I think I'll score a good goal. I'm very happy, and the most important thing is to take the 3 points. I'm more delighted with the 3 points, so yeah, we just have to keep on going now, keep believing that we can achieve things, and as you can see, we fight, we struggle a little bit, and we show character. We show that even in the difficult moment, we are always there to fight.
Sort of game that might have slipped away from Manchester City in previous years, but Mark Hughes says he's now brought in a team of winners. Do you feel that?
I don't know Manchester City in the previous years. I just come now. So yeah, like how I told you before, what I can say is a team who really want to win. As we can see, coming back, everyone was working hard for the team. Greg Bellamy, Robinho, myself. So yeah, from the strikers to the defenders, I think we are a compact team, and we have done that quite well during all the 90 minutes. And we show that even in a difficult moment, we can stick together and achieve things together.
They've got so many attacking options, haven't they, Manchester City? But for him, you know, the relief when a club have paid a lot of money for you, expectations high, to get off to a goal-scoring start after 3 minutes.
Your league debut, and it was the manner in which he started and finished the move. He come and collected the ball short on the halfway line. He fed it out to Sean Wright-Phillips, and he just went straight down the middle. Sean Wright-Phillips timed the pass lovely. He hit it. Led him to think Robinson probably could have done better. But for me, I think he hit it low. It was a good strike. It's in. You know, he talked about the Santa Cruz, Bellamy, Tevez, Adebayor, Robinho. You know, but the key man for me was Stephen Ireland. He scored 13 goals from midfield last year, and he managed to wrap the game up. So if Alan can chip in with his double figures, and those 4 or 5 strikers can do the same, of course they have an opportunity. But I don't think they played that well today. I really don't. They battled well. They got an away win. Garth disagrees.
I thought they played fabulously.
Listen, I don't think they played convincing. Okay. It's the start of the season, Gabby.
You can't be more convincing than 2-0 away from home.
No, it's a good result, and you know you can play badly sometimes and get a good result. And I think the main thing for Man City was to win away from home to get that momentum.
Can I just make the point that I think there's a lot of attention on Mark Hughes, and I think it's more about him, the fact that he can actually prove himself than any of the other players. But they've got now Wolves at home, Portsmouth away, Arsenal at home.
Chance to put some points on the board.
And if they're going to be top 4, and I think they will, they can prove that point over the next 3 games.
Did you put them in the
OK, there was big drama, guys, at Villa Park today. Aston Villa going down by 2 goals against Wigan. And Martin O'Neill's got plenty to say about that, and maybe the booing as well, speaking to Alistair Mann.
Martin, you had such a positive pre-season. Does that make today's performance that much more perplexing for you?
Yes, it does. Sometimes pre-seasons are not the best gauges, but having said that, we played very well, and we played in albeit a friendly cup competition, but it was competitive, and so that we were looking forward to the season starting. Played well last week as well, 2 against Fiorentina, and we were very positive before the start of the game. Started pretty well, and I must admit that when Wigan scored, it knocked us back a great deal, more than it should have done, really.
When you look at it, after this sort of the initial surge that you expect from a home team on the opening day, Wigan began to express themselves better. Any reason, do you think?
Well, I thought they played very well. I thought that they controlled and passed better than we did today, and eventually that wouldn't have been too difficult. But we were a lot better than that, and we know it, and we have to do something about it.
Is it better to have a display like that now than, with still 37 games to put it right?
No, we wanted to come out, and we wanted to get off to a decent start, and obviously being beaten at home in your opening day, which happened to us a couple of seasons ago, and we fought back from that. We've got a game in Europe this coming Thursday, and we've got to get ourselves prepared. We are, as I said earlier, we're better than that. And it was particularly galling because overall the performance was not good enough.
The drama has begun. This is the pressure to Phil Cooker that is Premier League management.
This is what we're just talking about. You're under pressure after one league game. Brian Gunn lost his job yesterday. But, Martin O'Neill had a go at it last year. 45 million, tried to get into the top 4. And what's happening now is they've had another go in this summer. They've lost Gareth Barry. They've lost their opening game against a team they expected to beat.
Yeah, difficult. Your first game of the season, you want to put on good show. All the boys would have been looking forward to the game today. At home, and I think Wigan took advantage of the fact that they had poor home form last season. They thought, let's go and get up and see how the crowd react, and the crowd reacted in the right way for Wigan because they wanted to get the crowd against them, and that's exactly what they did.
OK, thank you very much, Mark, Les and Garth. Stay with me. Just a reminder that on BBC Two right now is the World Athletics Championships live from Berlin. Final score continues, as I say, until 6 o'clock on the red button. From all of us here, though, on BBC One, a very good evening to you.